All right.
Hi, I'm Mijke from Austria, Europe, and I'm on my mission to smash stereotypes.
And I am bankshelfrich, and I am in Florida, United States, and I am here to listen to Mijke smash stereotypes.
It's my turn. I'm cutting up a watermelon today.
Oh,
Watermelon.
a bigger project.
It's wet because it's been sitting outside. And here is my knife. So, Mijke, in a relationship, let's say you and I have a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship. How much of your ego do you bring to the relationship?
The biological thing first. I come with a reptilian brain. Yes, we all have that. We are born with that. But I'm very aware not to use it. So I'm very aware of ego thinking patterns, and I work since 6 years, 7 years, the whole 15 years at least on that topic. So for me, it is pretty clear that with a growth mindset or an open mindset, you are aware of ego thinking and ego structures in your brain, ego mindsets perhaps from your past or from your childhood. And if you're aware of it, you don't bring it. So you can control your thinking pattern. So if it's natural that some ego thoughts come from, I always say, from behind, from all this old brain structure that was in Stone Age, or before it was the part who made you survive. So it has no other function than keeping you alive, and it's we don't need it anymore today because we developed a lot of better ways to communicate and to think. Or brain regions on other parts are a lot more developed, but from time to time, sometimes it's hard because you get triggered. So somebody hits the button and immediately your ego jumps out of the cellar. I learned it like that, and I studied it. I had 2 years studies, education, and for mental training and selfness coaching, and I studied it because I wanted to know where all the pain comes from. And as I discovered, it comes from ego thoughts. So the primal thoughts, like David says, unintelligent thinking, all this causes you pain. And I thought, how can we avoid this? And I learned it to get control over your thoughts. And if you don't let them rule your behavior or your emotions first, if these thoughts from this part of the brain are not the master, so you are the master with your thinking patterns, you can push it. I always say in the cellar, it's metaphorical. I always said it's a monster in the cellar, or down in the prison, very far down and in the dark. And if you don't feed it, it starves. So
right.
the less you act in ego thinking, the less it comes out.
All right. So in our relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, how much of your ego do you bring?
I just bring the brain structure, but I don't bring the behavior. So I'm aware of being under control. And if the partner, or if you trigger me, I will have a conversation with you. What triggers me? First with myself. So first of all, I find out, why does this sentence or behavior or whatever you bring trigger me? So why is my ego jumping out of the cellar, or wants to, at least wants to, because I have the key for the doors. So I don't open them, because it only causes pain. There is no positive, constructive thinking, speaking, acting in ego behavior. It causes all that fear and angst. Angst, you know, angst.
Oh yeah, anxiety.
Yeah, anxiety, jealousy, all this vanity, all these things. The ego is. I got schooled in it in a very, very lovely way. They said, when you don't feed it and it starves, so it is not dead, it is always somewhere, but you can make it weaker and weaker and weaker, and the weaker it gets, the happier you will be. And that's so true, because the more I worked on it, the happier I was from inside out. So that's really a high quality life if you are aware of that kind of thinking. Yeah.
Okay. So you have been triggered before. I mean, you were married and your husband triggered you, right? Triggered
Yes.
your ego. Okay. So if you and I get into a relationship, the possibility of me triggering something is going to be there, right? I'm going to say something or act some way that you don't want me to act. I'm going to give me an example. Maybe I'm not listening to you. Maybe that's it. Would that trigger your ego? If you ask me, hey, Banks, or if I ask you, hey, what's happening, or how's your day, or what are you present to, or whatever, and then I ask you the question, and then I go away and I do something else and I don't listen to you, will that trigger your ego?
No, if you behave like that, we wouldn't be in a relationship.
All right. So there's got to be something that's going to,
If that's the way how you treat somebody when you ask, it mustn't be me. If that's your way how you act, we wouldn't be in that situation of a relationship.
Right. I see. But however, there are going to be things that trigger you.
Yes, but first of all, I think, why does it trigger me? Why? What is the work I have to do for with myself? And when I know it, what it is, where's all the old mindsets, some unconditional structures inside, some things I'm maybe not yet aware of, something new. I never knew that it could appear in a conversation. And then I ask myself, why does this trigger me? And I don't react. And before I know what it is. So first of all, I want to know it. And when I know it, I will maybe not be in the conversation with you as long as I feel triggered, or as long as I don't know it. But I will come back later, and then we have clear, ego-free, open, loving conversation about what happened or what's the topic, and then we can speak about it. And I can tell you, when you say this touches this area in me, and then that might trigger me, and I'm aware of I don't want to react hurtful, or I don't want to live in pain. I don't want to hurt you. So let's talk about it. Why do you ask that way, or why do I feel this way? And if you have an open conversation, yeah, there is no ego. It's the opposite. It's love.
Okay. So what you're saying, it sounds like what you're saying is that ego, it's not when I affect your ego, when I trigger you, it's something inside you that you need to deal with rather than inside me that I need to deal with, right? I might be insensitive to something, you know, like let's say I'm insensitive to your lips. You're very conscious that your lips are big. And this is just, I'm making this up. And I say something about your lips. I make a joke about your lips. Hey, you look like a duck. Let's say that was what it is. And my insensitivity would then trigger something in you, possibly your ego. And then you would have to come back to me and go, hey, listen, I'm very sensitive about my lips. It's something I'm working on. Please do not talk about my lips, or don't make fun of my lips. Do you see my point? So
yes,
it's inside you.
It's always inside you when you start ego behavior. Most people are not aware of it. You can detect it, or decode it, or discover it very easy. It's always something in the physical thinking. So the ego is connected with your physical thing, because it was developed in our earliest times in history for survival. So it is always a survival mode. So a primal way of thinking. It is not enough food, or how can I get food, or this one steals food, or I need to care for my food, or I need to protect my food. And it's about territory, and it's about physics, so about life. So if somebody attacks you, you have to react to protect your life, or to protect the life of your family, or your clan, or your tribe. And there, from this position, you can think about, do I really need this anymore? It's not necessary to react like that. Most people who live in these thinking patterns are not aware of it, because they think they are their body. So they say I, and that for them it means their body, because they are raised like that and educated like that. And if you're aware of ego thinking, you are already on that way of mind, on the growth mindset, that you don't identify yourself with your physical appearance. So for me, it is, for example, a very good sign if somebody's always about my look. If somebody's only about my how I'm dressed, or makeup, or whatever, it's always about that. Also in a positive way, yeah. When somebody focuses a lot on simple things like looking, behaving, or eating, all this money, territory, property. When people are only in these thinking patterns, it's a very good sign for you, that you can test if they are already in some part of growing their personality, or if they are still in that unaware living. And for me, it's always a sign to keep distance. So because it doesn't make you happy. You can with a person who is only identified him or herself with their own body, you can have the same conversation as if with someone who says, okay, ego or I is just a reflection, a learned reflection of an identity, of a second identity. It's not you. Your real you is some higher energy, and well, the physical thing is the possibility to communicate in your higher energy, or your ideas, your creativity, whatever, your thoughts, what you bring in the world, your love. And the physical appearance is not you. So there, maybe I learned a super thing to as exercise. So imagine when you cut off one arm, are you still Banks? Is it you? Yeah. You cut off the second arm. Are you
still Banks?
Still Banks? Yeah. You cut off your legs. Is it somebody else, or is it still you?
It's me. It's still me.
Yeah. Or you cut off everything, and let's say just the head is left. Is it still you?
Still me. If I'm aware, it's still me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not your body. You are not your body.
Right. Right. Mijke, we're out of time, and I cut up some watermelon. You want some?
Yes, please. I hate that screen thing because I love watermelon.
All right, we're gonna see you next week. Yes?
Next week? Yes. Yep. Next week, same time, same place. Stay tuned.
Right here. Yep. We'll see you. Bye.